maybe specifically talk about Connor Bear, but a couple goals tonight.
Well, the game obviously is something we haven't seen in a long time out of our group. And Penticton's a really good team. Um, I thought we should have had a little bit better compete, but honestly, at times it just felt like men against boys. You look at their roster, how old they are, how young we are. Um, we were trying hard in points, but just weren't trying smart. And they moved the puck really well, and we just seemed like we were chasing all game. And I thought in the second period we had a little flash there, when they score right away again and put us back on our heels. So, overall, we're just going to flush this game, forget about it, move on, and just keep on pursuing our playoff spot.
Yeah, Connor Barry gets a couple goals late. There's a little bit of pushback late. What do you like from his game tonight?
I think the biggest thing is Connor Barry's been in out of the lineup lately, and he hasn't let it affect his attitude. We got 15 forwards here. It's difficult to get everybody in, and I think that he's handled it really well. There's a lot of good things in his game that he can help contribute. And the biggest thing right now, and just really happy with, is he's having some success. But I really believe it's just his mental attitude, away from the rink when he hasn't been playing.
Yeah, you mentioned extra bodies. How are the guys buying in, and even Cohen and Wagner kind of switching out game by game here? How are all those guys buying in and contributing to the team, even though they're not getting full-time ice?
Well, you see how they buy in the NHL, and they're getting paid millions of dollars. They're hockey players. They want to play. They want to be in the lineup. They're supposed to be pissed off and upset when they're not playing. That's the nature of this business. And if you're not upset when you're not playing, you probably won't be playing hockey very long, and you won't be making a living doing it. So, but to answer your question, I think it hasn't really affected them. You don't see it outly showing within their attitudes, and there's been a couple of guys who've missed quite a few games in a row. Obviously, we had a real good run with Maddox here, and Liam, they've played a lot of games. So, there's lots of things that go into it. But as a hockey player, you got to stay ready, and you never know when your name's going to be called, and that's some of the learning lesson we've been talking with those guys about.
How would you assess maybe this stretch? 5 games in seven nights, and finishing off here against Penticton, not the way you wanted, but we haven't talked to you after every game, and just overall thoughts here, and sitting comfortably right now in the playoffs a lot, obviously can't sit back, but just wondering your thoughts and the mood going forward.
Well, I think to answer the first part, I think the 5 and 7 was last week. This week, it's we've had three good days off before this weekend, and really tonight seemed like we were coming off the 5 and 7. We just didn't seem like we had a lot of juice in our legs. Didn't seem like we had a lot of jump. Usually, we're one of the more faster teams, and it seems like they were on top of us all night. So. It's a learning lesson. They're a really good team. They're a really old team. And we just didn't play very smart tonight with our details in our game. And no matter how hard you work, if once you hit the next echelon of hockey and, people that can make plays, if you can't think with your brain, you can't check with your brain, you're going to be chasing all night, and that's what happened to us.